Hey guys, it's Fadra from All Things Fadra, and I'd love to take you to a few of the small spots in my small town area, like this one. This is Liberty Reservoir, which once upon a time was the home of a town called Oakland Mills. Then they decided to create a dam, flood the entire city, and that's what we've got behind me. But that's not all I've got behind me. Look what I have right here. This is the 2019 Volkswagen Atlas, and when I told people around town that I was driving it this week, people really wanted to know what I thought. So I know this is going to be a hotly anticipated vehicle, and I have a lot to say about it. So I picked this spot because I thought it would be a nice, serene location, and so far we've been interrupted by people, by cars, by dirt bikes, and by bees. Oh, and there's an outdoor shooting range nearby, so welcome to small town Maryland. Let's talk about the star of the show right here, though. This is the 2019 Volkswagen Atlas, and look, I actually have the hood open, so if you come over here, take a look at the engine. This is a V6 engine, and you will find that on most of the models, with the exception of the S. That's considered the entry-level trim model, which has a turbo 4-cylinder. Volkswagen previously offered that on other trim levels, but apparently it didn't sell well because they think all Americans need this gas-guzzling V6. If it were up to me, I would go for the 4-cylinder turbo. You get better gas mileage. It's typically 2026. When you've got this V6 engine, you're going to be looking at something more like 1924. Now that we've seen what's under the hood, let's see what's around the hood and take a look at the rest of the vehicle. We'll do a quick walk around. What you are looking at is the Fontana red metallic exterior. I actually think it's a really nice color. And on this SE trim level that I have, you've got 18-inch wheels. We can do better than that if we upgrade the trim. We'll get to that. You'll notice sort of the signature Volkswagen lines on the body exterior. If we come around back, you'll see the badging as you normally would, but you don't press this in like you do on most other models to open up the back. It's got a regular lift gate. We're going to go inside in just a second, and I'll show you what you can expect from this 3-row, 7-passenger vehicle. Let's go ahead and check out the interior. It's got a black interior, and it may look like leather. It is not leather. This is considered leatherette. Titan black leatherette. In fact, leather is not an option unless you get the premium trim level. We'll talk about that too. All right, let's go ahead and start this up and see what this dash has to offer. First thing you're going to notice, or the first thing I notice, is this 8-inch display. You'll see I'm right down here by Liberty Reservoir, Liberty Dam. We've got a USB port right down here, along with an auxiliary port and a 12-volt power port, but I have my phone hooked up so that I can see everything that I need, including the Volkswagen app, already on my phone. I love to listen to my podcasts, my audiobooks while I'm in the car, and maybe even some music. We've got a great amount of climate control, okay? And I know it sounds weird to say, but here's something that I love. And after seeing the way Volkswagen does this, I don't know why all companies don't do this. All right, you know how normally in a vehicle you're like flipping through, you're like, I want it on my face, I want it on my feet, I want it on my feet and face. Oh wait, I need defrost. Well, look at this. All right, defrost. Great. Do you want it on your feet? Great. You just press that. You don't want it on your feet? You don't want defrost? Why don't they make it as simple as this? You want your feet and your face? There. Separate buttons for each one. I just think that is so smart. This button right here, I'm going to come back to that one because that is something we're going to have a little chat about. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and look at what's on the dash. So it does have an information screen right here that you can scroll through. I love this digital compass that a lot of different car companies are starting to offer. You can make adjustments to the setup so that you don't have to take your eyes off the road. Now, take a look at that. Start-stop system is available. Now, one thing I failed to mention to you is that when the Atlas was first introduced, I had a chance to go to Volkswagen North American headquarters in Herndon, Virginia, not too far from my house, and I got to do a little test drive, literally like around the block. It was about a 20-minute test drive. And I had some apprehension about the Atlas. There were some things that I didn't love. And I thought, this is a vehicle that I need to spend a little more time in, a little more than 20 minutes to really fully assess it. And one of the things about it that I did not care for was the start-stop system. And after spending a week in the Volkswagen Atlas, I still don't like the start-stop system. And I'm not alone. A lot of people just don't like them in general. I have seen it executed on other vehicles, and I don't mind it. But on the Volkswagen, it feels like it has, I don't want to say a significant hesitation, but more than I like for my own comfort. So if you're sitting at a traffic light, the engine will turn off, and then to re-engage the engine, you simply take your foot off the brake and engage the gas. And it just takes maybe a fraction of a second longer than I like. And I even had at one point when I was in a parking garage and the gate went up, I actually couldn't get the vehicle to go. It was almost like it was in neutral. So I have experimented with turning it off, and that's actually what this button right here is for. You turn that off, it says the start-stop system is deactivated. So in theory, I like the system. I like how it helps your fuel economy, but I did turn it off a few times. And the only thing that I noticed, and maybe there's a setting for this that I didn't discover, is that every time you get back in the vehicle, it does turn it back on. So it defaults to on. Something to know. Other than that, I really like the nice clean lines up here on the front. I actually like this little area right here. Sometimes in the morning, I just want to set my mug somewhere when I'm getting in the car, or I just want to set my phone up there. Let's check out the console, the cup holders. You guys make fun of me for checking out these cup holders, but you know they're important to you. You know they are. So 2 standard cup holders. These are things that tell me that there are options that I could have that I don't currently have. I always want more. I want more. And then we look inside the console. Got a nice deep console right here and another USB port. And over here, I thought maybe this was a fuse box. Do cars still have fuse boxes? This is just a little compartment, which is actually nice. I did not know that was there. It's pretty straightforward front seat. Pretty intuitive controls, so I have no real complaints about up front. I do have something I'm going to mention towards the end. So let's head into the back, because if you have a vehicle like the Volkswagen Atlas, you're going to want to put people and stuff back there. And let's see how capable it is for both. Now we're heading into the back seat, and I feel like it's a pretty spacious back seat. I have the driver's seat all the way back, which of course I wouldn't normally drive like that, because as we all know, I'm quite short, and I have a tremendous amount of legroom. No complaints about the legroom, very spacious second row. But if you do have third row passengers and you want to give them a little more legroom, you can actually move this seat all the way up. You'll kind of notice the difference in the distance between the far back position and the far up position. Now remember, I have this driver's seat all the way back, and if you're much taller than 5'3", this would not be comfortable for you. But it's simple to adjust, and if you are a backseat passenger, there are a few amenities for you back here. So you do have your own climate control. In fact, in the SE model, that's one of the upgrades. You get a 3-zone climate control that you can manage back here. And then down here at the bottom, you have a 12-volt port and 2 USB ports. So also in the SE model, you get 4 USB ports. Let's not forget your backseat passengers and their level of comfort. So if you only have 2 people back here, you can pull this down. You have a little compartment, you have cup holders, and there's also an option in this trim level where you could get captain's chairs instead of the bench seating, and that would give easier access to the third row. Let's head back there. Okay, I've switched sides because I'm going to take one for the team, and I'm going to go into that third row, and let's see how much space we have. So let's go on this side. First thing I like to figure out is how intuitive is it? How easy is it to get into that third row? There's a handle right up here on the top that not only leans it forward, but slides it forward. And let's see, we've got a little handle, so we can go right on in. Ooh. Now, when you get back, if you feel a hump in your back, it's because you've got these headrests. So you want to put those up. And if you're not sitting back here, you definitely want to put them down because it does block a lot of your rear vision. I had that experience. So if that seat isn't back, everything is great because I can stretch out as much as I need, but that's not reality. The reality is you're probably going to be sitting behind second row passengers. And I'm actually totally comfortable back here. I think as long as this seat is up enough and I think it's actually back all the way. I have plenty of leg room. I feel totally comfortable. So I would say probably smaller adults, maybe children, would be fine back here. It's actually very comfortable. This is beyond what I call the emergency third row because you have plenty of height between the seat and the floor, so it's great. While I'm back here, let me show you what you get as a third row passenger because I like to make sure they are not forgotten. Look, you have this compartment right here, this compartment right here, you have a cup holder, and then what is this, like a baby cup holder? It looks like a baby cup holder. And remember, I said you have 3-zone climate control, so you do have your vents back here. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can get ourselves out the same way we got in. All right, that's pretty easy. You know what's next, right? Next, we're gonna see what we can do in terms of cargo space. All right, let's go in the back and see how we do on cargo space. So a lot of people with larger families like to know how much room there is behind the third row. And for a lot of the vehicles that I've seen, I think this has pretty significant cargo space back here. I don't feel like it's squished. Oh, and clearly there must be a spare under there that I'm not going to get to. But it's there if you need it, along with your tire jack. So put this back down. You've got big cargo space here. Big cargo space here. That's great if you've got groceries and you don't want something rolling around in the back of your car. Put those headrests down and see if we can figure out how to put these third row seats down. That's not it. Oh, here we go. Pull and push. Pull and push. I'm pretty thrilled with this cargo space back here. So remember, this is your cargo space with just the third row down. So it's still a 5-passenger vehicle. And again, I have plenty of space back here. But wait, there's more. In my last car review, I gave it the full 5'3" test. Could I sleep back here? And in this case, I could sleep and have plenty of room to stretch out. Arms fully extended, legs fully extended, and I'm still not even out the bed. So there's a lot of cargo space for what that's worth. I have a lot of room back here. I think the only limitation with your cargo would be this opening for the cargo space, but very impressed with the amount of room that it offers you. So I said I had some other opinions. I already told you that I'm not crazy about the stop-start engine. Let me tell you one other thing, sort of a cautionary tale if you're considering the Volkswagen Atlas, and that is from the driver's seat. Everything may look fine to you, but I always like to give it the short lady test. I can reach everything without an issue. However, you have to do a lot of maneuvering to feel comfortable in this vehicle. I really feel like it's made for larger people. So I put the seat up as high as it can go. And because this has such a large hood, I feel like I want to sit up just a little bit higher, and I just can't. The pedals, I feel like, are angled a little higher for people that maybe have bigger feet. I don't know. But you definitely, luckily it has an adjustable and telescoping steering wheel, because as you know, if you are short, you need to be closer to the vehicle so that your feet can reach the pedals, but you don't want to be so close that it becomes a dangerous situation with the airbag. So luckily it has that. But overall, I felt like I was a little too small for this vehicle. And just to verify, I had my 4'11.5" mother sit behind the wheel, and my 5-foot tall sister also sit behind the wheel, and they concurred. They felt like the vehicle was a little bit too big for them. Not from a driving standpoint, but just from feeling comfortable behind the wheel. So if you are a short lady like me, keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and wrap this up, and I'll give you my overall thoughts about the Volkswagen Atlas. So a couple things I like to cover: the gas mileage. So the EPA estimate is between 17 and 24 for city and highway, with an average of 19. I did a lot of city driving and I averaged about 21 miles per gallon, which I don't think is too bad for a vehicle this size. Remember, it is a V6 engine. Let me tell you what I liked the most and the things that I thought were just okay with it. So it's got good power, which you would expect from a V6 engine. Very easy to steer. In fact, I call the steering and the suspension a little soft. I like to feel a little bit more of the road when I'm driving, but if you like a softer ride, you'll definitely get that in the Volkswagen Atlas. It's easy to steer, easy to control, easy to maneuver, very smooth ride, and it is a very large vehicle with a lot of cargo space. And you get a 6-year, 72,000 mile bumper-to-bumper warranty. That's pretty awesome. And I haven't even talked about the price. This model right here that we are looking at is the V6 SE. The MSRP is $35,495. It has one package that's been added, the towing package, or $550. That adds a tow hitch and gives you the ability to tow up to 5,000 pounds. You would want a V6 for that. And then with the destination charge, the total suggested vehicle price, $37,040. Honestly, that's a bargain for something like this. However, I'm a luxury girl, so let me tell you what I wanted on this vehicle that I didn't have. Well, first of all, I felt it was overall a little bit big for me, for the size of the driver. I did not like the start-stop engine, even though I have the ability to turn it off. I felt like it's a very large vehicle in general, so when you're parking, you're going to need to take extra care maneuvering with the vehicle. And the engine, I really wish I could get the turbo 4-cylinder because I want fuel efficiency and I want capability. As I would have this vehicle, I went through on the Volkswagen website and I built out exactly what I want. You guys should know by now. I like my panoramic sunroof. I like leather. I like heated steering wheel. So all those things. But if I wanted leather, I had to go all the way up to the SEL premium package. And of course, I would want the 4Motion. That's what Volkswagen calls their all-wheel drive package. So to get this vehicle outfitted the way that I would want it, I would have to go up to the $50,000 price range. Now, you have a lot of different options and you have a wide price range. I like that Volkswagen makes a 7-passenger, large size SUV available in the low to mid 30s. And if you want more, you could price it all the way up to the 50s. So I am giving a cautious thumbs up. Hope you listen to everything I had to say and you take that into consideration. Anyone that I've met that's driven or that owns a Volkswagen Atlas absolutely loves it. So as always, take what I say with a grain of salt. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a like. But if you have something to say about the Volkswagen Atlas, please leave a comment. And most importantly, I hope you subscribe so that you can come back for more videos just like this one.